Evening, gang. It's Monday night, Monday the 29th of March 2021. A very good evening to you and welcome to our little chit-chat on a Monday night. I've had to scoff my dinner down. I made a mistake tonight. It was about, about 7:05. I decided, well, why don't you just have your dinner before the show? Right, so everything up here was running. I thought, well, everything's ready, what can possibly go wrong? So I put these chips in the oven. And I put it on fan oven instead of conventional oven, or what convector, I can't remember what it's called now, dear. And they didn't come out of the oven until like a 7:45 with beans on top. And there were a lot of them. So I've literally scoffed down my dinner because we can't be late, dear. I would have had to leave it. Oh, and they weren't quite done. Do you know what I mean? It was about 5 minutes off of being nice and crispy. They were a bit more like potato rather than chip, if you see what I mean. They weren't brown, not on the side anyway. But there we are. So I scoffed it down. I haven't had time to drink my tea yet. That's here. Got my tea here already. So I thought, I might have my tea with you. You never know. Someone might call in. And then I can sit here and drink my tea and let them rabbit on about whatever they want to rabbit on about. Sounds fair enough, doesn't it? What a lovely day! Has it been nice where you are? I came out of the house to do a bit of a litter pick as usual this morning. There's an area in the forest that I identified for cleansing, boys and girls. Okay, it's a corner of somewhere, and someone's dumped a load of stuff there. A couple of bags full of rubbish. I thought, well, I'll get those today. And I came out with my coat on. That would have been about 10:10, quite early, straight after the radio show. And off I went. And it always takes me longer to get to the place that I want to get to because I can't walk past rubbish that I see. Do you see what I mean? Oh, I just picked that bit up, that bit. Oh, it's a bit over there. Oh, it's a bit over there. And then it takes a lot longer. What I should do is, I don't know, wear a blindfold or something like that and walk to the place that I want to get to. And start from there. And maybe if I want to, pick it up on the way back. But nevertheless, I got there eventually. And I discovered there was a lot more there than I thought there was. So I picked up most of it. And someone has dumped, that plastic strapping that they put around boxes and things like... Oh, it's Mark Bowles. Hello, Mark Bowles. Oh, little crumpet cake, he's calling me. Hello, Mark. Mark sent his photo in the oven. Just in case you haven't seen it, there's a picture of the delightful Mark Bowles. That's a beautiful photo. Do you know, I've watched it and I've looked at it a lot. I've looked at that photo a lot. I have. I've looked at that photo a lot and made myself very silly. I have looked at it. Beautiful photograph. Thank you, Mark. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so I found a whole roll. And of course, it's not neat, is it? No. It's like this plastic strap stuff, but in a sort of roll like that. And it's all over the place. And I couldn't get that, so I'm going to have to go back tomorrow and get that. Never mind, it keeps the exercise going. I've done my 5 miles today, so we're happy about that, So that was my day. And of course, on the way out there, on the way to the place I wanted to get, it got hotter and hotter, and the sun came out. And I've got a coat on. So I had to take the coat off, empty the pockets. I carry a little blue bag with me, just a few bits and pieces in there, like mobile phone and that sort of thing. So I took my stuff out of my pockets, put it in there, and then I have to wrap the coat around my waist. And you've got to double tie it, otherwise it just keeps slipping on. And I'm pleased to say I was able to double tie it, which I wasn't able to do a few weeks ago. So I think the weight's come off. I'm really hopeful this week that on Wednesday, when we have our weigh-in Wednesday, I'm hoping to be below 13 stone. Wednesday is the weigh day, but this week on Saturday I weighed myself after I'd been litter picking, and it was 12 stone 13 pounds. But I can't include that because that's the wrong day of weighing. You see what I mean? So I fingers crossed for that one. So that was my day. While I was over in the forest, I put my oven on. Oh, it's all automatic here, dear. I put my Wi-Fi oven, which was already full of little potatoes and corn nuggets, a bit like chicken nuggets, but no dead animals in there. The microwave, that's got a Wi-Fi plug on it, and that was already set to 10 minutes to do the vegetables. And the kettle's got one as well. And as I'm coming back, I'm turning these things on. I got here, dinner's done. How fantastic is that? No waiting 45 minutes. It's done. I mean, the only thing I did a bit more was I tend to stir the vegetables, frozen vegetables I eat a lot of, that are in the microwave. Stirred those around and then put them on for another sort of 7 minutes, and they were beautiful. All I had to do was make the tea. Wonderful, eh? How fantastic is that? Anyway, let's say hello to some of you tonight. Good evening to George Bond. Good evening, George. He's watching on his Amazon device again. Excellent, George. If you weren't with us this morning, George has found the way to watch the show on his Amazon show machine. Fantastic, isn't it? All live. Wonderful. Is your nan watching as well, George? Do send her my best regards. My best regards. Do you have a credit card, George, or a debit card? Can you order stuff online? Like, for example, I'm thinking of an Easter egg for your nan. Because she looks after you. I think you should try and get her an Easter egg somewhere. Or maybe is Lily allowed to go to the shops on her own? Because what is she? Is she 8? I don't know. Depends where you are in the world, really. I mean, you wouldn't... You know, if I was in London, in Hackney, I wouldn't be sending a child to the shop. Up in Lincolnshire, where my sister lives, you often see little small people going into the local Sainsbury's there. I don't get bags full of stuff, but I think they've walked from their house and they're like 8, 9, 10 years old. Little people doing their shopping in Sainsbury's. Wouldn't see that in London, would you? God, blimey. Good evening to Pete Remington. Hello to you. He's had his second COVID jab yesterday with no problems. He's had the Astra spaceship injection, haven't you? Well done there. By the way, if you're new to the show, welcome along. Just to let you know, if you're in the chat box and you're trying to talk to me, I'm not in the chat box. You won't see me in there. To get me a message, just send me a text there, 07451 287 337, or you can send an email. All right, send us an email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and I'll pick it up from there. Either way to communicate with me. You will be able to phone in later when we open the phone lines a little bit later on. All right. Good evening to Mick Davenport. He's feeling quite nervous. He's got a hospital appointment tomorrow to see if I've got testicular cancer or not. Please, all men, check yourselves. Or have you got to put it on that cold piece of metal, have you? That's worse than worrying about the results, Mick. Oh dear. Well, I had something done like that. What was it? Ultrascan. It was an ultrascan, but it was a small cyst. Apparently, I got a small cyst on there. It was an ultrascan thing. That's some time ago now, and that was it's a bit weird. And it was a lady. Do you know what I mean? She's holding it, and oh dear. Good luck with that, Mick, tomorrow. I hope it's not too cold. I don't know if are they doing an ultrascan or an X-ray thing. I think the X-ray is where you have to put it on a cold plate. Sod that, mate. Take our water bottle with you for afterwards. Good luck with that, sir. Good evening to Fran Green. I've had a lovely day, Fran. Such a beautiful day out there. The sunshine. I even found time after dinner to sit in the garden. I think it's the second time this year. I did it a couple of weeks ago with a coat on. Sorry, because I've eaten, I've got this blooming stuff coming up now. Mucus coming up, and tea is not good. You really shouldn't have tea before you do some sort of chatting. Okay, so yes, and lovely sitting in the garden. Absolutely lovely. There's a few flowers out there. Some blooming squirrel trying to dig up one of my bulbs earlier. I keep seeing squirrels in the garden trying to get my bulbs. Evening to John Parrish. Good evening to you. Hello to Jeff. Evening, Jeff. Linda and I are doing well. Excellent. Linda is over the side effects of her second COVID jab. Excellent news. Do you think Boris will stop us travelling to Chapel Hill? No, I don't think he will, to be honest. He might do. My personal opinion is I don't think he will. There was a bloke on one of the news programmes this morning, probably ITV. I don't know which one it was. They're all the same. They're all depressing. All depressing. Even the London News, I put on that tonight. What was the first story? Oh, people's businesses or something like that. And then that went on to people dying in hospital. They don't learn, do they? People are turning off in their droves. They're sick to... And I'm very sorry there are people who are ill. I'm very sorry there are disabled people in the world. You know, I'm very happy that people are raising money because they're running around pitches. But give us something else to watch. Give us some entertainment on the telly. We're sick to death of seeing the same old thing. Same old stories with different people. Don't you know what I mean, don't you? When you put this like breakfast time on and your local news thing like London News, where's the feel-good story? Where is it? Where is the feel-good story? Evening to Jason Hughes. Mandy Davenport there. They've seen her granddaughter for the first time today on a 4D scan. 4D, they're expensive, they are. I think you have to do those privately, don't you? Do you mind if I pour myself another cup of tea? I've got a cup, my tea and teapot down here, look. Because I didn't have time to finish the tea. Well, it's either this or be late, you know, which are you going to go for, love? Of course it's a teapot. Don't have tea bags in this house. Tea bags? Blimey. Where are you lot from? Oh, it's the Aldi shoppers. They don't know what tea leaves are, do they? No idea. Tea leaves, what are they? Good evening to Rachel Wheatland. Evening, Rachel. One of our bingo winners last night. All your parcels have been... they're all letters, actually, this week. All the letters have been posted off, OK? Good evening to Paul. DJ Sparky is in the house. Good evening, Sparky. When are you on the radio again? Good evening to Gary Ross. And Sherry Parish says, good evening, Chris, and all your viewers, followers. You look younger tonight. Saw your reface, by the way. You look fab. A friend of... Actually, it's this bloke who's been talking... I've met him before, years ago. And he's been talking to me a lot. He wants me to go round there. Hope he doesn't think I'm easy. Don't tell Mark that. He'd be ever so upset, dear. Tina's wetting her knickers now. Tina's wetting her knickers because I might be going to see someone else at some point. I don't know that. George is nervous because he's having his COVID jab. What for? What for, George? There's loads of people on here now have had their COVID jabs. Look, we're not dead. You know, don't worry, mate. Don't worry, I'm telling you now. Do not worry. You think they'd be putting that thing in your arm if it was going to damage you? Although some people think it will. You know, the anti-vaxxers. They think it'll damage them. But you'll be fine, George. Look, all these people on here, there's loads of people now that have had this COVID injection, still waiting for one to die. Not happening. Oh, I hope it doesn't happen tonight on the show. Not before I've even advertised it. We might get a few more subscribers if I advertise that, mightn't we, eh? Yeah. Evening to Amelia Phillips. Good evening, Amelia. Hello to the delightful Mike in Brighton, who's been cutting his own hair, haven't you, my love, with his new snippers. Well done for you, sir. Paul in Cornwall was on for 2 hours today. Oh, he had a car crash show, did you? What happened? Nothing was working, but I'm back on Wednesday between 4 and 6. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Sometimes people have technical difficulties, don't we? Here I knew it. Mick, that 4D scan of him and Mandy's granddaughter. 4D scan, private, how much? Actually, I might use that as a wheel question in tomorrow's 2-hour show. The wheel. What do you think? How much do you think a 4D scan was? Go on, have a guess, boys and girls. I'll tell you in a minute. And I'll tell you in a minute or two. Good evening to the lovely Maureen. Evening to Maureen. Hope you're well, Maureen. Maureen, I have a little bit of information for our karaoke friends. For our karaoke friends, there is a possibility, because the governor rang me up today, Martin, there's a possibility that we might be doing karaoke at Central Station from the 21st of May. It's a Friday night. It'll be from 7:30 to 11. Okay, 21st of May. It will be. They've redone the basement bar to make it a cabaret place. So there's a possibility that it will be the 21st of May. There is a slight change to what it normally is that's now going to cost you £2 or £3 to go there. Okay, it's like a door charge. It's actually, believe it or not, it's actually more normal for a cabaret venue to have a door charge than it isn't, and they've never had one there. But downstairs, I think because of social distancing, I think the maximum people you can get down there is about, it's not exactly 50. He told me it was about 50. Okay, so just to let you know, that's a piece of information I got today. It may be able to do karaoke. I think it was the 21st of May at Central Station, Friday night, 7:30 p.m. and it will be as normal. They've got a brand new sound system down there. Tables and chairs with waiter service. They will come and bring your drinks to you. Okay, you don't have to get up from the seat or anything like that. But it will be I think it said £2 or £3 to go down there, which is nothing, is it really? That's not even the price of a Coke, is it? £2. What's a pint of Coke? Anyone know that? £2. You know, because they really have been struggling, so they've got to do something. So just a bit of information for you there, Maureen, and indeed anyone else that might want a bit of karaoke information. That is, of course, if everything carries on going as well as it is. Did you see the number of people that died today? 23. Now, in my mind, that's 23 too many, but nevertheless, this today 20 or yesterday 23. You know, 4 weeks ago, nearly 1,000. Okay, so it's got to keep going the right way for them to be able to do this. So that's just a little date, 21st of May. You might want to know that, Maureen. All right, I knew you. I've been waiting for you to pop up so I can tell you that. Okay. George is having his COVID on Thursday. No, it'll be fine, George. Don't worry. All these people on there, I'm sure you're in the chat box with the people. They will tell you that it's fine. I'm sure they're in that chat box now telling you that it's fine. Okay. Rachel's getting the 4D scan at £289. Blimey, that would be a difficult baby to born, wouldn't it? Imagine trying to push one of those out, my love. A £289 baby. Push a bit harder. Oh, it's not the best. It's not the best position, is it, ladies? When you're having a baby and all those doctors are looking up there, dear. How awful. Reminds me of when I had my colonoscopy, watching it on a TV screen up there as well. Oh, dreadful. Good evening to... Have we got any emails? No emails this morning. Okay. There was an email the other day, and it was... Someone sent something in to do with the what do you call it now? When people ring you up and try... Scammers. Someone emailed in about the scammers. But I'll be blowed if I can blooming well find it again, because it came in sort of after the show. Sometimes the emails do take a little while to come through for whatever reason. And I can't find it again now. I don't know. I may have inadvertently deleted it. Customer services, McDonald's, Sutton Seeds. No, I can't find it. Oh, maybe it went in the spam, did it? Let's have a look at the spam. Perhaps oh, there it is. Here it is. It's here. Okay, so we were talking about fraudulent phone calls on Friday's show. And Rick Porter has emailed in to the programme. And Rick says, Rick's in the USA, and Rick says, Chris, I have to relay this story of a fraudulent phone call I received some years ago. I was sitting at home one chilly afternoon. Chilly, we'll put the heating on, you tight-fisted git. No need to be chilly, is there? Oh, you're a bit high, aren't you? Come down here a bit. There we are. Is that better? There we are. Come round. Come closer. We've many cameras in here, dear. We're multi-camera. Not just one camera, like Alex Belfield on his mobile phone. Hundreds of cameras in here. And I don't upset the police, so they don't come round and take my stuff. Anyway, Rick says, I was sitting at home one chilly afternoon as my phone rang. It was before you could block scam numbers. I answered it and was told that the police were coming to get me because I owed £12,700 in credit card bills. That's a credit card bill, isn't it? I'm very pleased to say mine has never got as high as that. They would come and repossess my car, my house, and anything else of value that I owned to pay off the debt. Now, at the time these people called, I wasn't in the best state of affairs mentally nor financially, but I knew that this was a scam. Excuse me. My girlfriend at the time was also there and had called the police. As she was doing this, the caller started to get belligerent and started to get nasty. Oh, they do. They do. And once that's happened, you know it's... If it was any doubt in your mind, once they start getting really nasty to you, you know it's a scam. You know straight away, darling. I know as soon as they start speaking. Oh, hello, it's the Inland Revenue, is it? In here, Mr. Reardon. No, it isn't, because they wouldn't ring me. They'd send a letter. Oh, hello, it's your bank here. Just want to talk about your account. No, it isn't, because the bank will never ring you. They won't ring you. Why would they ring you? You'd get a letter if you were in debt, wouldn't you? Eh? After a few moments, the commander of the Pittsburgh police showed up at my door. He apparently had been about a block away when my girlfriend called, because his girlfriend then called the police, you see. The commander then gave me the thumbs up sign and asked for the phone number of the caller. I gave it to him. He called dispatch, who sent the number to the FBI. He then asked to talk to the caller. He held them on the line for 15 minutes, telling them a cock and bull story about his men taking me into custody. After they had found where he was calling and notified the local police in Arkansas to the caller's location, he said they would be sending notice to his office ASAP. We heard the police come in and arrest the entire office. Yes. Apparently these people had been harassing elderly people and others for weeks and had been trying to lock down the location of this office as well for weeks. It felt good to turn some excrement into the police. Well done for that, Rick. That's a great story, and good, because that's who they prey on. They prey on not only elderly people perhaps like you, who haven't grown up with computers, and you can just about get by, you know how to answer an email and maybe a few other little bits and pieces, but you're not aware. I can't even tell you what to look out for in a scam email. I just know straight away. I know straight away. Anyone who's asking for money, you know, the old one. I'm sorry to reach out to you. You don't know me, but my mother is dying from kidney failure in our country in Egypt, and we've got no money. I have recently won £200 million on our national lottery here, but I can't get to it because there's a fee of £200 to pay. Could you send me the £200, and in exchange I'll give you half my winnings? And I'll be honest, it's beyond me why anyone actually ever believes this stuff. But they do, because if no one believed it, they wouldn't be doing it. They do get people. People do send the £200, only for it never to be seen again. You know, and we see a lot of stories of older ladies, you know, who for whatever reason want a young man in their lives, and they speak to a young man in another country, and then, oh, can you send some money for the plane fare? Oh, it hasn't arrived yet. Could you send some more? And they clean them out. They clean these little old ladies out of their life savings, and you know, I'd take a very dim view of anyone that says, "Well, the silly old cow should have known better." That's not nice. They don't know better. They weren't brought up with computers. They don't understand emails. They just about get away with it. You know, probably half of these little old dears, they've only got the mobile phone so that they can have FaceTime calls and things with nieces and great nieces and nephews and people like that. They just happen to have the email on, so they played about a bit with that. Then they start getting those vile emails. I told you I had the phone call. I think it was Friday last week, didn't I? Oh, and it was a recording. It wasn't even a person at the other end. It was a bloody recording, dear. You know, hello, and it was a mobile number, 07 something. Hello. This is the Inland Revenue. We have detected that you owe us X number of pounds. If you press 1 immediately, if you don't respond to this phone call, the police will be dispatched immediately to your address and you will be arrested. Are you for real? You think I'm going to fall for that? From a recording of all things. The outrageous cheek of these people is unbelievable. And sadly, people fall down for it. Oh, I'd love to kick the arses of some of these people, I really would. You know, going, how dare you go and prey on old people like that, and people who don't quite know what they're doing, you know. You could include, I have no idea what I'm doing most of the time, as you well know. Good evening to Lee Toby. Good evening to you, Lee. Sending in a little email there. Don't forget, gang, if you're in the chat box, I don't go in the chat box. Just send me a text up there and it'll come to me, 07451 287 337, or you can do an email, okay? Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Someone wants to know, will I be doing the karaoke? Who is that, please? You finished 1-7. I don't know who you are, darling. Someone who finishes 1-7 has sent a text, and I don't know who that is. Will I be doing the karaoke and putting it on YouTube? Don't know yet. No idea yet. It's very early yet to see what happens. I'm not sure, because there was another chap who was in for me. I've now heard that he's gone to Japan, but I didn't think he was going to Japan until August. So I have no idea. Would I do it now? That's, I think, what you're asking. Who is that? 1-7. Can you just text me back your number so I know you are, my love? Would I do it now? The answer to that is probably yes. Yes. And I'll tell you why. I've already seen from photos what they've done down there. There are various plastic screens out. They've got suction air thing going on there. Okay? I've been vaccinated once, just waiting for the second one. We have masks. There is a screen between the singer will basically sing behind a screen. I am surrounded by screens. So the answer is yes, I would now do it. Because remember the last time they asked was back in October, November, December, January, February, March. 5 months, 6 months ago now. 6 months. I can't believe it's 6 months since I left the caravan. On Halloween. Woo! The blooming Halloween backdrop is still up there. That reminds me of perhaps not so happy times, Rachel. we can sit here laughing about it now because the problem was sorted. Can't we? Oh dear. So yes, Lee Toby, thank you, Lee. Sorry, I don't have you in my system there, Lee. I'll just do you mind if I add you now while I'm chatting away? You never need to send your name again, Lee. Okay, so yes, the answer is yes, I would. But we're not sure what's going to happen yet there, all right? Andy, the 21st of May is his second jab date. Good news on the karaoke, fingers crossed. Hope the karaoke night's a live stream, searching for me to something to watch for the effect of the jab to wear off. Yes, bear in mind, I haven't used my equipment now for some time. In actual fact, my laptop is still waiting for repair. Where I took it in, they can't get hold of a motherboard at the moment. They had one come in that went in someone else's computer. They're still waiting for another motherboard to come in. So my main laptop is down. I do have a backup one, but that doesn't work quite the same as my main one. So waiting to see what goes on there, really. I'd have to use the backup one, but I'm not keen on that, really, because if the backup one goes, you have nothing. You know what I mean? I like to have 2 laptops with me at all times. Ideally, there'd be another one. I'd buy a new one now. I think it's time to replace that. When I say a new one, I've had that for a while. It's really time to replace that one now. I've had that for a few years, but at the moment, do you know what I mean? We're a bit tight on the money at the moment. All right. He says, I'll be able to watch the karaoke while the effects of the jab wear off. Well, you might not have any effects. Most people have no effects. That's what I'm saying to George, you see. That's what I'm saying to George. He probably won't have any side effects, George. Not really, darling. All right. Weird City, hello to you. Looking dapper tonight. Very smart. We do our best, mate. I always do a little shave before I come up here. We're thinking about makeup next. I can't believe how much men's makeup is. How dear is that? I keep seeing it advertised on TikTok. Yeah, just to look a little bit younger. My mate says I should have, no, not having any of that. Injections in the face. Why would you want to do that? You end up looking like Sylvester Stallone's mother. Dreadful, dear, dreadful. Rachel says, sit and laugh about Halloween now. I laughed it there and then. Oh, what a cruel lady you are. What a... Let's go back to Halloween, boys and girls. Yes. Oh, don't say you didn't hear. Did you not hear anything? Did you? Oh, that's it. And I did a Piers Morgan, didn't I? Switched off and went home. Literally. I don't think I did. I just wanted to go home that day, believe it or not. All I wanted to do was go home and I put everything in the car quickly and went. I don't know what state I've left the caravan in. Incidentally, I don't know if my nephew's watching today, but my nephew very kindly went round to the caravan yesterday, Jeff, so you won't have to do that. And he's plugged me water back on. I said, if you go round to the caravan, if don't make a point of going, but if you're going, can you just plug the water back on? And he's done that for me now. You had to go back there 3 days later and turn the taps off because I hadn't told him. No, not really. All right. Okay, let's do some of these stories. I don't know if it's Alan Ross with us tonight. I don't think Alan Ross is there tonight. But you may remember we were talking something to do with hedgehogs last week. And Alan Ross mentioned that he had a hedgehog. He says, hi, Chris, you asked on Friday morning's radio show, actually, and he sent this in Friday night. You asked on Friday morning if you can keep hedgehogs as pets. You know, I mean, I don't quite know how you pick a hedgehog up and sort of stroke it without getting holes in your hands or anything like that. And he says, please see attached photo of my daughter's hedgehog having a bath. There's his daughter's hedgehog. What is that not one of the cutest little animals you've ever seen? Look at it. Eh? I mean, it's even cuter than a cat, isn't it? So that's that picture there. And the one where it's having a bath. Look, and it looks so happy, doesn't it? There's a little smile on there. And I don't know if you noticed, but actually those spikes don't seem to be up, if you see what I mean. I'll go back to the other photo. They're not really up, are they? Often when you see a hedgehog, all those spikes are up, but they're not really up. And that is just the cutest thing ever. Alan writes, this was a few years ago. Sadly, she had to be put to sleep recently, but they are specially bred for domestic pets. The one in the picture hated me, used to hiss at me, but loved my daughter, who could handle her without getting even prickled. And that's from our very good friend Alan Ross, who will be on the radio tonight with you at midnight till 3 a.m. Alan Ross. I don't think he's here tonight. He hasn't texted in, so there we are. Thank you very much. Rachel says, on the subject of your caravan, mice have probably chewed everything up by now. There's no mice in my caravan, thank you very much. Not with the amount of traps that I've got round there. I'll probably go up there. Might find a few skeletons where they've dehydrated and starved to death in one of the traps after munching on the piece of Mars bar that I used to catch it. Mars bars are apparently the best things that you can use to catch mice. Did you know that? Not cheese. Not cheese. None of that Tom and Jerry stuff. Bo! That one, yeah. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? I think Daniel Woodhouse should be with us a bit later as well, gang. He's doing some sort of quiz. I'm not sure about it, but I'm sure he'll explain it to us if he calls in a little bit later on when we open those phone lines. All right. So, Vikki Beckham. Vikki Beckham. Do you like Vikki Beckham's clothes? She's the one who's got jeans for like £1,000. Why would anyone spend £1,000 on a pair of jeans? That being said, usual my price of jeans, £35. I do have 2 pairs of jeans from none other than Selfridges. £200 each they were. I didn't buy them both at the same time. 200 quid on a pair of jeans. And what it was, it's when I did the Slimming World. Do you remember that? It's a couple of years ago now. I used to go to the group every week, do the whole thing, and I lost 2 stone. And I got down to 11 stone. I got down to 11 stone. People watching the show, oh, I think you've lost enough weight now. Isn't it funny? People are like that. You know, when you get fat, and you're eating too many cakes, and then you lose the weight. Oh, I wouldn't lose too much weight. You're starting to look very ill. They just want to point the things out all the time, aren't they? Gemma Collins is lucky, really, in a way, because she only goes one way. She just keeps putting it on and on and on. Doesn't come off at all, does it? In a way, so I suppose it's a better way to be, isn't it? So I bought these £200 jeans from Selfridges, and then. And they fitted so well. Size 32 waist. 32, dear. I'd gone from like a 42 to a 32. Good, isn't it? Okay. And then what happened, further along down the line, we went on to one of our afternoon teas, me and my mate, at Selfridges. And it was crap. So if you said to me, would you go to Selfridges for an afternoon tea? No. No, they don't know how to do it properly. There's your sandwiches, there's your cakes, there's a pot of tea, get on with it. That's it. There's no service. No, so not you've got to. If you want to go for an afternoon tea, you've got to do it properly in a posh hotel. Mandarin Oriental and the Claridges are at the top of the tree. You also get a nice little spread in Harrods. They do it well in Harrods. Many of the hotels, even the smaller hotels, they do it. Selfridges, not a blooming clue. Not a clue. Not a clue. So I complained. And fair dues, they wrote back with a cheque for all the money. I didn't know if it was a cheque or money back on the card. I can't remember now. Or a voucher. They sent me all the money back and I used it. Well, what am I going to do with this? I don't know what I want in Selfridges. He said, and my mate says, he said, well, you do like those tea services. They've got lovely tea services downstairs. You know, nothing like this mug. Proper hand-painted like tea services, cups and saucers and all that. Bone china, which apparently does have actual bone in it. Did you know that? I didn't know that. And I thought about it. I said, do you know what? I think I'll get another pair of those jeans. So I went there. And it was Georgia. George was the person who served. She camped here. Camp as a Christmas tree. And went straight over to... Hello, George. Oh, hello again. How are you? Have you got another pair of those jeans that I had? Yeah. And anyway, he handed these pair of jeans to me. I went to the till. Didn't try them on. Same size and everything. They're fit. Thank you ever so much. Lovely to see you again, George. Anyway, just type this thing in there. 300 quid. I said, oh, no, they're the wrong ones. 300 quid on a pair of jeans? No, dear. George, you give me the wrong ones, mate. The ones you did was too... Oh, I'm really sorry. Nah. And that's what I did with the extra money. So that's why I've got 2 pairs of those. I had no intention of buying 2 pairs, but didn't know what to do with this voucher. That's what I did with it. Huh? 200, but I wouldn't pay £1,000 for a pair of jeans. However, you don't have to, because the Sun is reporting Victoria Beckham's pricey fashion range is on sale for rock bottom prices at none other than TK Maxx. Oh, how the mighty have fallen, dear. TK Maxx. Because she has I think it's her fashion brand that just didn't do well. People wouldn't pay the price. And, you know, it says she designs the jeans, but you reckon she sits there in a sewing machine and draws it all out? Of course she doesn't. Someone else does all that, and then she puts her name up the bottom. And that's why, instead of £15, they're £1,000. Because it says Victoria Beckham signed it at the bottom there. No, she hasn't. She's not even signed it with her own handwriting, dear. £1,000. It says, Posh Spices leather boots at TK Maxx usually cost more than £1,000 in her London shop. Now, I know some of you ladies I say to you, £1,000 for some boots, leather boots. You'll probably think, oh, well, that's not bad. It's outrageous, dear. Absolutely outrageous. I got some lovely walking boots off Amazon. Do you remember those last year? I bought them last year. They're more of... I wish I had them up here now. They're more of a glorified trainer, to be honest. They're not like Dr. Martens or anything like that. They're more like a glorified trainer, but they're waterproof. And do you remember I told you early last week I had gone on my litter picking around the big pond, which is the furthest I go, coming back, and I saw this mud. I thought, oh, is that all right? And I'm stepping forward carefully. And then I thought, no, it's okay. Well, no, it wasn't. My whole foot went down. Mud all the way up my leg and everything. And when I got back here, these trainers were what do you call them? These trainer type boots were caked in mud, and the tracksuit bottoms as well at the bottom, of course. You know, a bit different to sort of rolling around on Hampstead Heath or on Brighton Beach late at night, isn't it, Mike? Yes, I know those bushes too, my love. So I said to Mum, how do I clean? He said, put them in the washing machine. I said, really? What walking boots? He said, well, they're not quite Dr. Martens, are they? And they really are. They're like glorified trainers, thick and chunky and going up the foot a bit rather than a normal trainer. And I said, oh, well, I'll give it a go. He said, put them in a pillowcase. Now, I'm not quite sure why you put them in a pillowcase, but I did. So I put these things in a pillowcase, put them on low, 40 degrees. And the washing machine did its job. They came out like brand new, dear. Lovely and clean. They were like new shoes. So that works well, doesn't it? But it weren't £1,000. Not like this old cow's pair of boots. £1,000. But not in TK Maxx. Previous season's stock is now available at less than £200. Still, £200 on a pair of boots, love. I mean, my mother never paid Clarks that much money for my stuff, dear. Clarks? Nothing wrong with Clarks. It says 8 designs are up for grabs at TK Maxx of Victoria Beckham stuff, including shoes, boots that are still on sale at other upmarket fashion websites there, okay? Her light grey leather thigh boots. Yeah, Mark Bowles, are you still with us? Do you want me to get a pair of those? Mark? Shall I get some, Mark? Shall I get some light grey leather thigh boots? Do you want me to get some of those and put them on? Anyway, they're originally sold on websites for 1,390 quid. These people have got more money than sense. But TK Maxx has them for only £249.99. See, to me, that's still too much. £249 on a pair of boots. Maximum price, £100. I do have 2 pairs of Ralph Lauren Ted Baker shoes. Beautiful. I have a green pair and a blue pair that I bought. And when I bought them, they were I think they were £130. And I've had them for 5 years. You know, shoes last ages. And you can have them fixed. Not like trainers. You can't really fix them, can you? How did we ever get conned into giving up shoes which last for years and years for trainers that you're lucky to get 6 blooming months out of? Or, if you're like me, 2 years. You've seen the trainers that I have by the time I chuck them away. The bottoms are flapping like that. They're gay trainers because they're going like that, you see. That's why you know. Tico said £249. White leather-heeled ankle boots. What about that, ladies, eh? Perhaps you'd like me in those, Mark. How about those, Mark? Mark, what do you want me in? Do you want me in the grey leather thigh-length boots or the white leather-heeled ankle boots? Originally £850, now a bargain at just £199.99. God's sake. Doesn't say anything about jeans there at all. I don't see. Are our jeans for sale there? It doesn't say anything about her jeans, but her stuff is really good. And I'm sure that she's in a bit of trouble with it. It's like making huge losses, that sort of thing, that Victoria Beckham. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm sure I've heard that from somewhere. So there you go. TK Maxx if you want cheap Victoria Beckham stuff. Or Primark when it's open again. I think that'll be open again soon, won't it? Primark. Or Marks and Spencer's. Marks and Spencer's. There's a food Marks and Spencer's near me, so that's open at the moment. So I often go past the shoes and have a little look there. Very high quality. John Lewis. You know, very high quality stuff. Or there's a specific shoemaker, isn't there? Do any of the older fellas know? There's a specific shoemaker that's very, very well known. All handmade, not cheap. You know, you're going to cost you a few £100 for a pair of shoes, but I bet you never have to buy another pair. You know? Mike says, I thought you were modelling for Victoria Beckham in your Facebook dance video. Did you enjoy that, did you? There's another one, actually. That's not me making those. It's this fella who wants to see me. In London he is. Finsbury. Can't go yet, obviously. Andy says, on the subject of weight loss, here we go. That happened to me, Chris. I lost 5 stone. Fantastic. I lost 5 stone by doing a bit of running and eating healthily. Then the neighbour said, what are you doing to yourself, Andy? You look ill. They always say that. Of course, this played on my mind and I put it all back on and haven't been able to lose it since hitting the big 50. Yes, for me it was 47. For me, it was 47. Suddenly, at 47, Andy, I started putting on weight. And I wasn't eating anything different, anything more, anything less. It just started going on. And my specialist doctor, I go and see twice a year, he told me it's because you've got older. You don't need so much to eat. And my doctor, he's, I think, early 60s now. And he said, shall I tell you what I have to eat in a day? He said, I have a bowl of muesli in the morning. I have a couple of biscuits for lunch. And dinner, I'll have chicken and a load of vegetables. That's it. That's all he has. You know, what have I had today? Oats. What have I had? Fat-free yogurt, a little bit of porridge oats and some blueberries. That was breakfast. For lunch, I had potatoes in the oven with a bit of spray light on. When I say they're roast potatoes, they're not really because they're not covered in fat. Just a bit of fry light on the roast potatoes and some corn nuggets and heaps, and I mean heaps of vegetables like that. You know, a packet of frozen vegetables, right? That'll do me about 3 meals. Yeah. There's quite a lot of vegetables in there. And for dinner, I've just had chips with some beans on the top. And that'll be it now. If I'm still hungry when I finish the show, I just have an apple. Yeah, and I've been on that for about, since the beginning of Lent, so 5 weeks. 5 weeks. Well done, Andy. One of the things you mentioned there is running. And if you're not used to running, if you've never run before, I noticed that as well, because I started running, must be about 7 or 8 years ago now. I don't run anymore because I hurt my knee when I was doing it. But I started running and the weight was falling off because my body wasn't used to it. It was falling off, so I know where you're coming from there. Jeff. Jeff, you've texted me L Hill. L Hill. What's that mean, Jeff? Sorry, mate. I don't know if you've maybe got a wrong words there. L Hill. Do you want to try that again for me, Jeff, please? Hello to the lovely Clarissa. Good evening, Clarissa. I've got 2 pairs of new rock boots that I've had for over 10 years and still going strong, you see. Proper stuff, proper stuff. Clark's shoes. No, it's not Clark's. I'll look it up. Hang on. Here we go. Most elite shoemakers. Let's see if I can find them on here. I know Bally, Bally. No, there's another name. It's a bloke's name, first name and surname. I bet I can't find it now. They all look like ladies' ones to me. Oh, Churches. There's one. Churches. I know them. Crockett and Jones. Proper shoemakers. Let's have a quick look at Crockett and which one shall I like the look of? Hang on, let's see how much they are. I bet they're about 400 quid. But you see, the thing is with those things, you'll only buy them once. I can't move the blooming page now. Why won't that move? Hang on. London Shoemakers, maybe Shoemakers London. There's a London Shoemakers. I can't figure the life of me for what the name of them is now. Best English Shoemakers. Let's try that one. Not Dr. Martins, no. I can't find them. I can't remember who they are now. Let's just take George Cleverly. George Cleverly, shop now. Let's go for a pair of size 8 somethings. Store. Ready to wear? Ready to wear, or do we want a made? Let's do ready to wear. Ready to wear. Here we go. Colony in black calf. Now, of course, if you're a vegan, you wouldn't be buying anything like that. Here we go. Colony in black calf, size 8, £595. You know, £595. But, you know, they're top quality. They're not going to fall apart. That's the thing. And these kids don't just think anything of spending £150, £180 on a pair of trainers. Well, 3 pairs of trainers, that'll probably last them not even a year each. You get a pair of those shoes, they will last for years. And then when they wear out, you get the bits of the bottom nailed on the bottom, don't you? Dr. Martens, Mick saying that. I do have a pair of Dr. Martens, actually. Yeah, I think they're up at the caravan. And I put those on there if there's any dodgy sort of slippery surface. They do grip quite well, those Dr. Martens. We were talking about the 4D scan that Mick and his wife have received from their latest grandchild. And the cost of a 4D scan is £160. How did they get away with it, eh? Because people pay for it. I think my nephew and his girlfriend, they're going to have another scan soon, and they'll be able to tell whether if it's going to be a girl or a boy. I personally wouldn't want something like that, but it's up to them, isn't it? Mandy says, when I was a teenager, I wouldn't think twice about spending £40 to £50 on a pair of shoes or boots, which probably now is £250 or something like that, is it, mother? Something like that. Oh, there's Vera Taylor. Hello, Vera. Hello, Vera. Here's another scan, says Vera. There's a text going around saying that they are from the post office, and if you want your package, you have to pay £1.99. Now, again, to someone who may think, well, it's a scam, but £1.99, I'll take the risk. Okay, you might think that to yourself, mightn't you? I'll take the risk. It's only £1.99, so if it's a scam, I've only lost £1.99. So, okay, well, we'll take your £1.99. Credit card details, please. And you've given them your credit card. That £1.99, they won't be taking £1.99 off that. I'm telling you that now. More likely, £800. Daniel's calling in. Good evening, Daniel.
Good evening, Chris.
Bonjour, all right? Can I just come to you in a moment? Can I put you on hold?
Yeah, fine.
Just a moment. I need to have a word with Emily, who's on the phone there. Emily, yeah. Can you just put him on hold for a second? Thanks, darling. Emily, I talk to you. All right. Well, I'm just finishing off this little bit of chat here. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Emily. She's the one sort of 1, 2, 3, 4 down, 2 back. Can you see she's got like a red top on? Not the one nearest to the screen. That's Emily there. If you go 4 along from the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2 back. There's Emily there. All right, that's Emily. She's talking at the moment to what's his name, who's going to wait for us there. Clarissa says, I bought another pair of new rock boots for £129 a few weeks ago. Yeah, if you like the clothes. Like the clothes, you've got a bit of money, why not? But I think there's a reasonable amount. Is not £1,000 on a pair of boots, is it? God. Hello to Ollie K. Hello, Ollie. He's back from school. Hello to you, Ollie. Welcome along to the show. Okie doke. Let's move on, gang. I just wanted to show you this, which Vera, who's with us tonight, good evening, Vera, sent in. She's got a new lamp. Check that out. Isn't that nice? A flamingo lamp. I bet that's really pretty in your house, isn't it? Beautiful. Thanks very much for that, Vera. If you ever want to send in anything to show us, don't forget I can't show it immediately. You have to wait until the next show, my darlings, okay? Then just send it through chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Jeff, did Jeff reply yet? No, he hasn't. Jeff, you sent me a little message that says El Hill. Was it something else I was talking about that I've moved on? I can't remember now, dear. Anyway, I'm still here. Right, let's go to the phones. Daniel's there. Good evening, Daniel.
Good evening, Chris. Where was Emily, by the way?
Emily was the fourth one along and 2 back.
So 4 along, 2 back.
She's got a red top on. There's only 2 people with a red top on.
So four along, but 1 back, 2 to the right, 3 to the left, 1 to the rear, 8 to the right. So I know a song about that. Yeah, well, before you ask... It goes a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, sing it then.
That was it.
Well, there's no song, there's no music to it.
Yeah, no, she's just 4 along, 3 back, 2 left, 1 right. So a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. More or less, something like that.
Sounds like a night at Chariots to me.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, what have you got for us tonight, Daniel?
Well, tonight, this beer-filled rapscallion.
Sorry? Pardon?
That as well, yeah. This beer-filled rapscallion brings you a dramatised version of What's My Line?
What's... Is there a theme music to that?
Yeah. Well, do you want me to get it? I know exactly
No, you
where
can't.
it is.
You can't. I'm afraid. I'm just quickly, desperately searching for a little bit of music, perhaps that we could use. But sadly, I don't think I'm going to be able to find anything in time.
No, so I'll just have to do it for you.
So
Da da da
you'll
da
have
da da.
yes.
Dish. Yes, welcome to What's My Line, folks. Now, you all know the rules, so here they are again. In a moment, a contestant will sign in and do some mime as a clue to her occupation, and then you'll be asked to ask questions that can yield only a yes or no answer. And for the first correct answer, the prize will be 64.
64 what? £1,000?
No, just a piece of paper with 64 on it.
Oh. Well, if we do that at my bingo nights, we'll be able to carry those on. Is it digital or do you actually send it in the post, dear?
No, well, digital, you'll have to print it off yourself.
Oh, right, okay. Continue.
Right, so will our contestants sign in, please?
Well, I've got some music here now. I've got some music. Do you want to choose the music with me?
All right, go on then.
Let's see what we've got here. One moment, please. Is that any good?
Yes.
Is that up enough? It's not up enough, is it?
Fine.
Okay.
So as I was saying, will our contestant sign in, please?
Okay, carry on.
Okay.
Well,
So good evening, Mrs. Marion Woodhouse. Would you just perform a short mime for what you do for a living, please? Watch out, please. You have someone's eye out with that. Oh. Okay, right. So this is Marion Woodhouse, otherwise known as my mum.
Oh, is she playing tonight?
Yeah.
Is she there? Hello, Mum.
Yeah.
I can't hear her.
Bear in mind, my mum is actually retired, but we're looking for the job that she did, the last job she did before she retired.
Okay.
So all you got to do is just start asking questions. If she answers yes, then we'll carry on. If every no, then you'll lose a life, and after 10 no's, then that's it. Then that means that we win it on our side.
Right. So what do you need another player here or something?
I just need them in the chat box, or they can email, do whatever. Just fire questions at my mum to get ideas of what she did.
Okay. I see. Well, so they could text that, can't they?
Yeah, they could text it, chat box, whatever.
Okay, so if you got to guess what his mum's job is.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to just go and mime it again for us so that we can hear you doing that?
Yeah, but watch out with that, Mum. Ooh. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. Can I just say, Rachel? Can you just cancel your comment there a minute, please, dear? You've come into that a bit.
What are you doing it on the chat box? Do I need to do anything except relax?
I think Rachel was guest actually, and she's guessed too early.
Oh, well then that's it, isn't it? It's finished.
Well, actually, no, not. She's only half guessed it.
Oh, well, do we get to know what she's written?
But not quite.
Well, what's she written? I don't know what she's written. Tell me.
Well, she's put down cleaner, but.
Oh right, yeah.
Cleaner, but where? What cleaner? Where? What sort of cleaner?
Oh, is there different types of cleaners, is there?
Yeah.
So what's happening now?
So I just wait for people to start asking questions.
Oh, right. And that's either in the chat box or on text. So I'll read the text message. See, I can't see the chat box. I can't see it. So you're going to have to do it. Now, bear in mind, there are other people that are not seeing the chat box. So you've got to talk us through this as it's happening.
Yes, of course.
And don't leave any gaps. There's nothing happening. You've got to fill in with chat.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Fran Green's guessed already.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, she was a school. Yes, Mum, you was a school cleaner.
A
She
school
was a
cleaner?
school cleaner at my old primary school. I think some of these might have remembered from about like 8 months ago. I might have mentioned this on an old Facebook live video about so long ago now.
All right.
So, well done for remembering. You've got excellent memories.
Okay.
No, I mean, nice to know, isn't it, Chris? Nice to know people are remembering
Oh, it's very good. Is that it then?
Well, yeah.
Right. Well, okay. Well, thank you for that. You said you was going to do that, so we've done it.
We can say just saying it's over a bit too quick.
Well, never mind, darling. Perhaps you'll do something a little bit more difficult next time.
Yeah. Well, has anyone got any questions they'd perhaps like to put to me?
What about?
Well, anything you like, as long as it's not too...
Well, of what aspect of your life would be interesting to other people?
Well, there's so many aspects of my life. This is the thing.
I have to say to you, as I was saying on the radio show this morning, what on earth were you doing in your video last night?
That's what I was doing in my video.
You were standing there with the tightest pair of jeans on I have ever seen in my entire life against a mirror looking at yourself.
Yeah.
What's all that about, dear?
Well, just trying to see how lovely I looked, but it was to, eventually that to be swapped.
Yes, very
found
sensible.
another pair. Yeah, if I start chafing in the awkward position. Don't worry, I've got the baggies on tonight though. So
praise the Lord for that, my darling.
Fran Green says she don't remember yesterday. Of course you do. Hang on, you wasn't there, dear.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away.
Now it looks as though they're here to stay.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I believe in...
Well, thank you for your efforts tonight, Daniel. That's something a little bit different.
Well, yeah, I do my best, yes. And I think there's something else to come around for Wednesday, Friday, whatever.
Yes, right. Okay, then. Have a lovely evening.
Okay, Chris. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. There we are, Daniel with his quiz show there. Quite sure what was happening there, but thank you very much, Daniel. Mike in Brighton says, on the subject of telephone scammers, I watched a YouTube channel called Kit Bogger. Kit Bogger. It's a guy in America who wears a grey permed wig, sunglasses, and disguises his voice as a 76-year-old granny. Although very entertaining, Kit Bogger is a professional time waster and uses a virtual PC. Still, it's horrible to see the lengths these lowlifes will go to without any morals. So does he try and trip up the scammers, does he? I like those ones. There's quite a few of those. You can see them on YouTube. Scammers that are being scammed. So they ring someone up, right? But the bloke they ring up or the lady they ring up is more knowing of computers than the actual scammer, and eventually they wipe their computers or lock it and they can't do anything. And they're like, one bloke in India, he was crying down the phone, please unlock my computer. No, I don't think so, mate. That's what you have to do, hit them where it hurts. Evening, Michael Lawrence. Hello, Michael. Why not bring back the quiz? Because it wasn't popular, Michael. It wasn't popular. It's the same as the bingo, to be honest. The bingo is no longer popular. It was a bit of a just a bit of a waste of money actually trying to sort it all out, to be honest. I thought it would work and it didn't. We really don't know why. Really don't know why that bingo doesn't really work. There's never anyone new. Very rarely is there anyone new playing. And each week you just look and each week is a few less people playing. So it's just how it is, just one of those things. And eventually we'll have to stop that as well because it's just pointless. Pointless. It doesn't bring anything in. It just costs me every time. Every time you see the bingo, it's about 20 quid. Every time you see it, and it gets to a point where you have to say no more. There's a few weeks left worth of prizes there, but once they've gone, I think we'll probably knock it on the head, unless it suddenly picks up, but I doubt that very, very much. I doubt it'll pick up very much. All right, my loves. It's just the way it is. You're no one to blame or anything like that. But thank you for that comment there, Michael. Anyone else want to call in? We'll open the phone line now. There we go. 020-8144-3477 is my local London number. Now, summer, of course, this year will be tomorrow or Wednesday or both. We are looking at some lovely temperatures, very low 70s Fahrenheit, sort of about 22, 23 degrees centigrade, and looking forward to that. Will you be doing anything? Will you be going anywhere? Because you can meet up with a few people now outside, can't you? Or perhaps in your garden. Maybe you were doing it anyway. I mean, I wasn't. I haven't met up with anyone, really, other than my mate. That's it. That's it. I haven't seen anyone for months. Months. Will you be doing anything? The weather forecast. The sun's one. British people are set to flock to the beaches to enjoy record high March temperatures this week as restrictions on outdoor gatherings are eased in England today. Now, unfortunately, most of the people here are fairly clued up and sensible and follow the rules. And for me, it's not about following the rules. It's about realising that they're trying to keep us safe. The amount of thickos out there that don't believe that, it's beyond me. It really is. Beyond me. They're just trying to keep us safe. So when you do go out to the beach or something like that, keep away from other people. Try not to brush past them, because you don't know. It might be that person who's carrying something nasty. But quite apart from a knife, you know. Carrying some nasty COVID. You don't know. If you're going to go out to the shops, put that mask on. Try and keep away from people. When I go to Lidl on a Friday night, which I go late and there's rarely anyone there, but if there's someone in front of me at the shelf of tomato ketchup where I want a bottle of tomato ketchup, right? If there's someone there, I will wait for them to move off before I go and get mine. It's all about common sense, you know. Will you be going anywhere on Tuesday or Wednesday? Maybe you're going to take a little trip to the beach or something like that. Is the beach near where you are? Anyone going to Skegness? Or Bognor Regis down the south, or Southend, that side? Perhaps up on the beautiful Yorkshire coast, Whitby? Oh, Whitby, what a beautiful place. It says that the south of the UK will be very warm, and some areas of southeast England could see temperatures get to about 24. So it's 24, 48, 58, about 75, 78, something like that. The warmer and brighter weather coincides with the relaxing of England's lockdown now, when the stay-at-home order ends and groups of up to 6 people or 2 households are able to meet outside. Will you be meeting up with anyone at all? Or have you done already, maybe today? Maybe you've met up with someone today, have you? Seriously, the only people I've met up with over the last 6 months is my mate, his other half, the people in Lidl, and my neighbours. That's it. Neighbours standing outside. And believe me, we're all careful. You know, if my neighbour's out there, I'll stand more than 2 metres away. More. Like I'm on the grass and he's on the pavement. It goes the same with all the neighbours around here. You know, no one comes right up to you and hugs you or anything like that. In Wales, lockdown restrictions were eased as the stay local requirement was dropped on Saturday. We're still supposed to stay local at the moment for a couple of weeks until after next week, which I think has been done to make sure that we don't have the big Easter getaway. I mean, the one thing that will be good, if people stick to the rules, you won't have that dreadful Maundy Thursday traffic. It's got to be the worst of the year, Maundy Thursday traffic. Dreadful. It's the worst day of the year to travel, even worse than Christmas Eve. They're all there. And if you're on your way to Norfolk or somewhere like that, you'll get stuck behind those caravans, won't you, eh? Oh, endless caravans, dear. Endless caravans. And you can't get past. Nothing worse than a mobile caravan in front of you, is there? It says temperatures in March have not gone above 24 degrees centigrade since March the 29th, 1968. I was 5. A happy time in my life. I was a happy child. I think I was a happy child. Unfortunately, it'll only last a couple of days. By Easter weekend, cold air from the north may bring another dip in temperatures. Now, listen, gardeners, don't muck up here. Don't go out tomorrow and buy loads of bedding plants, because the danger of frost has not yet passed. The times I've seen it, and I've done it myself with tomato plants once. Once I bought the tomato plants early, and I put them all out there, Everything was going fine. And then one morning I got up, every single one of them was dead. And that's what happened to your bedding plants if you put them in too early. I mean, you can put them in now if you want to. But my God, make sure you cover those up if there's any sign of a frost. Blanket or bubble wrap. Pop, 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 pop. We like that, don't we? Pop in the bubble wrap. Hello to Ronan. Good evening, Ronan. You're not on my list either. I'll add you to the system, young Ronan, okay? Let's add him to the system. Ronan. Oh, 1 moment, please. Now, are you the Ronan that used to work for British Airways? Am I right? Am I right there? Ronan says, how are you? Hope you've enjoyed the sun. I really did today. What a difference that makes when that comes out. Everyone's happy. Except the people presenting breakfast television. How are you today? Hope you've enjoyed the sun. I could not believe how busy London was today. It's like COVID is no longer there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. I don't know what's going on in London. I have been asked to do karaoke. It's been mentioned that they want to start the karaoke on the 21st of May, Ronan. Now, I've had my vaccination and I've got various... I don't know if you was with us at the beginning of the programmes. So I would do it now at this point. I probably would do it. Unless I sort of change my mind. And if those numbers stay as they are or just go up a little bit, you know. The thing is with that vaccination, it stops you dying. Stops you getting seriously ill. You might get COVID, but you won't end up in hospital on one of those ghastly ventilator things. It must be frightening. Well, I mean, you're out, aren't you? They knock you out. You're not like awake when you're on one of those things. Yes, XBA, Ronan. He's on the railways now. Are you really? What line? Are you on? Are you coming to Bracknell, aren't you? Are you the Ronan coming to Bracknell to live? Are you here yet? Are you in Bracknell yet? Do let us know. If you are, don't tell me your address, but what road are you on? Just as a matter of interest, I'm going to stalk you. I'm going to park at the end of your road and watch you with binoculars coming in and out your house. Take photographs with one of those long lenses like that or something like that, wouldn't it? Mike in Brighton's going to take a trip to the beach on Wednesday. Lovely, lovely. It's not far for you, is it? Takes ages to get there. Well, how will it take ages for you to get to the... Are you taking the mick? Are you taking the piss? You're right next to the bleeding beach. I know where you are. I'm going to take a trip to the beach. It takes ages to get there, so we'll plan ahead with a packed lunch, yeah. You probably walk out your house 2 minutes later, you're here. Mind you, you're in a nice part. You're in Hove, aren't you? It's nice there. I like Hove. I like Hove very much. I do like Hove. Vera might go for a bike ride in the forest next door to where she lives. Beautiful. Lovely forest. I'm so lucky to have that. 5 minutes walk from my house. I'm in there. I love it. I absolutely love it over there. And they're doing a bit of work on there at the moment, actually. It's a managed forest, okay? So they cut down the trees. They're all tall pine trees, right? So they've cleared a couple of very large areas. That literally cut the trees down. And they've got a machine that munches them all up and puts the little bits of wood everywhere. Wonderful. Don't want to get caught in one of those, dear. My God. There'd be bits of you everywhere. Mind you, that could be quite a good thing, couldn't it? Just imagine that, Vera. If I got caught up in one of those machines, right, and there would be bits of me firing off all over under that machine, then maybe I would grow into lots more of me. Just imagine that. 1 or 200 of me running around the country, entertaining the millions of people all over the world. I think that's an excellent idea. Huh? Anyway, so they're doing that at the moment. On my way to collect that rubbish today, I noticed in the area that they'd already done, there was another van. And there were people, there was 3 people with like a bag over their back. And I thought, what are they doing now then? They're putting in new trees. I'll take a photo. I'll probably go into the same place tomorrow. I'll take a photo. And in this barren, it's not barren, in this mud now, because all the trees have gone. It's all been cleared. I mean, as in cleared, as in nothing there now. It's all gone. And they're putting in new trees. And they're like little thin things, or pine trees again. Little thin things, look, just sticking up out the ground. And you can see rows and rows of these little new trees. Isn't that wonderful, isn't it? I suppose over the years I could start doing a catalogue of pictures. If I took one picture sort of twice a year in the same place, and then those of you that are lucky to still be here in, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years' time, who knows? We don't know. Maybe tomorrow. No one knows, do they? We never know when we're about to go. Perhaps that's best. I saw something on the internet the other day. Would you like to know when you're going to die and what you're going to die of? Absolutely not. No, I don't. You'd be worrying forever. You know, what if I said to you, you're going to die at 11 p.m. tonight? You'd then spend an hour and 3/4 worrying. But you wouldn't, because you'd be watching this programme until it finishes, and then you'd worry after that. Because I can't believe anyone thinks of anything more other than to sit there watching this while I'm on. Because I would. I would sit here watching myself. So there we are. She says, oh, hell, no thanks. No, I wouldn't like to either. Why would anyone want to know they're going to die? God, blimey. Here we go. Mike says, you're right. It takes 3 to 5 minutes to get to the beach. Yeah, hope a tsunami comes and takes you out there. Have you swept up all that hair yet that you've chopped off with your new hair trimmers? Actually, that would be quite nice if I'm just thinking, you know my opening videos. We haven't got to see one, have we? And up at Lincolnshire, got Skegness up there, and this end we've got Brighton, Bognor, all places. I could also have a bit of a sea thing going on there, shouldn't I? Really, on the opening videos, be quite nice. Not calm sea, boring. Crashing sea. We like crashing sea. You know the sort of waves that come and take a small child out into the ocean and they drown. Those sort of waves. That's what we want to see. Oh, aren't I awful today? I really am. Rachel will be working on Wednesday. Unlucky Rachel. Oh, no going out for Rachel. Andy, Chris, I don't know if you believe in an afterlife. Well, I'm in it now, actually. This is my afterlife now. This is. I was so bad in my original life that God gave me the punishment of having to sit here and do this all the time. And then getting upset when things don't work out properly. That's my punishment. My punishment is looking at my subscribers and watching them go down a few more each time I do another show. Even quicker when Dan Woodhouse is on the phone. Yeah, Andy says, I don't know if you believe in an afterlife, but a white feather just floated down in front of you. I always think it's someone paying us a visit to make sure we're okay. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Don't you think? Someone we love actually paying us a visit. Oh, that is a nice thought. That's a lovely thought, that is. Funnily enough, after my mum's funeral, which is 21 years ago now, I came in here. There was a picture on the wall up there of her. Just a photograph, like a... Not a framed thing, just something like that. It was on the wall, stuck on the wall. Right? And I came in here and I sat down thinking about my mum, and the picture fell off the wall. Just came down. So, yeah, I like to think so, Andy. I chat away to my mum and dad all the time. All the time. Nights, every single night without fail, I do. Thank you, Andy. Ollie K says, it feels like I've been back to school 5 minutes and then I'm breaking up for Easter tomorrow. It's insane, says Ollie. Funny you should mention that, Ollie. My auntie Brenda said exactly the same today. She says, I think the children are breaking up again tomorrow. Isn't that weird after they've had all that time off? And I'll be honest with you, I think it's a bit of a mistake. I think you should have a little bit of time off at Easter, but not a whole Easter holiday. It doesn't make sense because, Ollie, I don't know how seriously you would take something like this, but you've missed an awful lot of school. You may have been doing it at home, I'm sure you have, but it's not the same. I don't believe it's the same as sitting in a classroom. And all children of any age have missed out quite a lot. Now, at 13... you've actually got quite a lot of time to catch that up. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I don't know if you'll go to university. Maybe your dad wants you to go to university. I don't know. But you've got quite a bit of time to build that back up again. Whereas people now who are like 16, they've missed a year. That's much worse for them. Where are they going to make that up unless they bolt on another year? That being said, a lot of people now go to university, didn't they? And that didn't happen when I was a boy. I can't think of anything worse than going to a university after looking forward to school finishing and me leaving school and going to basically another school. Nah, not for me. Not for me. Anyway, Ollie, I'm sure you'll catch up there. He agrees. Yeah. I do think you should have a couple of days off for Easter, but not like 2 or 3 weeks. And it's the same with the summer. You know, really, really sorry. And I feel for young people like you. I mean, I've got my great nieces and nephews, 7 years old, 8 years old. They've done their stuff at school, at home. But it's not the same as being at a school. Mum and dad might let you get away with something, whether the teacher wouldn't do that. And it's very concerning about all this education that people have missed out. But certainly with the Easter holidays, like I said, a couple of days off, yeah. Even the summer holidays, all right, maybe have a week off, but put another 5 weeks in because you've had the time off. You didn't want the time off. You were forced to have the time off. You've had all that time off. So why not just now go through the summer? Although it may be a little bit uncomfortable in classrooms, because they're not air conditioned, are they, classrooms? In my school, London Oratory School I went to, we wore blazers and shirts and all that. Very rarely were we allowed to take our blazers off. It was all uniforms. Now and again, if it was really hot in the summer, we were allowed to take our blazers off. We all had to look the same. We'd have to take our blazers off, take our tie off, undo the top button and roll our sleeves up. We all sat there like that. All looked exactly the same. Funny, isn't it? But schools are not air conditioning, not in this country. So to go through the summer might be asking a little bit much, but it makes sense to me to not have that summer holiday. And it's the same with the teachers, They had all that time off. What do you think they've been doing? There's no books to mark or anything, is there? I suppose they've been doing the Zoom lessons, haven't they? They've been doing, on the computer screens and all that. Michael Lawrence says, I can't stop laughing. Good. That's what we try and do, make people laugh. And those of people that don't laugh are lefty and they have no sense of humour and they don't have a place here. Goodbye. As Ricky Gervais says, if you're offended and I'm laughing, then I'm a happier person than you. Go away. Oh, dear. Ronan's moving to the Lexicon. Yeah, I know where you are. He said, I wish I was moving to a nice quiet road on the outskirts, but sadly not. Oh, Eagle House. Oh, you're in the shopping centre, aren't you? It was the easiest and most reasonably priced, plus close to the shops. Well, you say that, Ronan. I walk to the shops here, right? Now, admittedly, if I want a load of shopping, the car comes out. But I can walk to the shops from here to the Lexicon 45 minutes. And it's dead quiet here. Dead quiet. Really. This is not the quietest place. There is a little primary school over there. Okay, I can actually see them from here, from my house. And when they had the playtime at, 10:30, I suppose, then 12 o'clock, and then, I don't know, 2 o'clock or something like that. They come out 3 times a day. There's a little bit of noise and there's a few swings and all that over there, but I close my windows, can't hear a thing. Can't hear a thing. I know where you are. Yeah, that's the busiest place round here. Surely that can't have been the cheapest place there. It must have been cheaper if you come out a little bit. Even like 20 minutes walk away. Somewhere like perhaps East Hampstead or Priestwood, maybe, those sort of areas. May I ask how much you're paying in rent for that? And if you don't want me to read it out, just tell me. I'm imagining the Lexicon, I'm imagining about $650 to $700 a month there. Would I be right in that one? Vera saw the feather too. Why didn't I see the feather? Feather. I like that word, feather. Where's my feather? Who's the feather? Who's looking down on me tonight? Is it you? Is it you two? Clarissa, not sure you'll be doing much on Wednesday, Chris, seeing as I'm posting your jackets tomorrow via next day delivery. Clarissa's bought me some jackets. Now, you may remember I bought 2 really brightly coloured jackets from a company called Joom, J-O-O-M. And one arrived and it was completely the wrong jacket, and the other one didn't arrive at all, and the post office said that they delivered it. There was nothing here. So I contacted them and I got a full refund. And then Clarissa asked for a picture of the jackets that I'd ordered just to have a look at her. She didn't tell me. And then she's gone and ordered them and bought them for me. She won't take any money either. Isn't that nice? Thank you, Clarissa. I shall hopefully be wearing one of those on... I'm not sure if I'm doing a show on Friday or not. And I'll tell you why. Friday we have our Good Friday Mass, which I'll be doing on the video side of things, and it's a bit hard going, that one. It's quite taxing on you, so it might not be a show Friday, okay, but it'll definitely be one on Wednesday. If there's not one Friday, I shall be wearing one of your jackets if they arrive in time for Sunday bingo. There you go, Sunday bingo, colourful jacket. You wait till you see these 2 jackets, beautiful. And they actually they weren't they're not like massively, they're not hundreds of pounds, these jackets, you know, they're very reasonably priced, if only they got here. Do you know what I mean? Mike in Brighton, speaking of knowing the time of your death, I saw a great movie called Countdown. Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo, boo! That one, yeah? It's a supernatural horror movie about a smartphone app that tells people when they will die and how they try to avoid it. Good movie, but I think it's only on Amazon Prime Video, which I've got that. You think I'm in the dark ages and haven't got any of these things? I've got that, dear. Amazon Prime movies. I got that because I got the Amazon Prime, so I get the free delivery of stuff, don't I? Yesterday I took delivery of some grass seeds because I got a couple of bare patches. And PG tips. I buy a big packet, don't I? 1.5 kilos of tea leaves. I've almost run out. Okay, thank you very much. And Ollie will be texting in on the morning shows. Ollie's going to text in on the morning shows. I'm doing 2 hours this week on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 2 hours. I did my first 2 hours this morning. It was okay. I'm not sure that I'd want to do 2 hours all the time. Not sure yet. That being said, I might get to Thursday and I think, you know what? This is all right doing 2 hours. I do get up to do a 2 hour show starting at 8. I get up at 6:20. Not really a problem, to be honest, 6:20. I mean, I've been waking up at like 6:30, 6:45 and laying in bed until 7:20. So 6:20 I get up to do that show at 8 o'clock. So tomorrow morning will be 8 to 10. There's the little poster. It says 9 to 10 on there, but it will be 8, okay? 8 to 10 tomorrow. Reachonair.com. We had a nice lot of people with us today. So there we are. Thank you very much. So I can say that, can I? Yep, he's paying £700 for a 2-bedroom flat. That's not bad. That's not bad. I think that's I don't know what. Might see mine are 1-bedroom. I think they're dearer than yours. 1 minute. What's this one here? Here we are. Here's one here. That's a 1-bedroom flat I've got. Now this one is in what's the name of the area? There's a chip shop there. I can't think of the name of the area it's in now. What's next to Crown? It's not Crownwood. It's next to Crownwood. I can't remember the name of the area. But that's a 1-bedroom. That's going for 770. That's a 1-bedroom. You got that? Is it subsidised? Have you got that subsidised by your company or what? You couldn't send me a link, could you? And I could have a look at it. Is it really posh in there? Is it really posh? Because aren't they brand new, those Eagle House ones? Were they, am I right in thinking they were council ones that the council sold off to a private person or company who done them up? Am I right with that? Are you above a pizza place? Domino's. Are you above Domino's and a hairdresser? Is that where you are? Opposite the dentist. Is that where you are, Ronan? As a matter of interest. So he's paying £700 for a 2-bedroom. That don't sound bad at all to me. And is that everything in? Or not electric and gas? Does that include water and council tax and all that business, or is that extra? Isn't it dear to rent somewhere when you think about it? It's so dear, isn't it? Ollie, I had a 2-hour on Saturday. He did a show 2-hour on Saturday. I kind of got bored by playing and ran out of tracks. So play maybe, if it was a show with a title I enjoyed a bit more, it might have been better. So he did a 2-hour Saturday, but got bored. Do you talk in between the records? I'd get bored if I was just playing music. I like to have a little bit of a chat there. All right. Okay. Water cannons. Water cannons. Now, I mention this because we keep seeing these riots going on at the moment. You may remember years ago, Boris had these water cannons. There you go. There's some water cannons there. Now, that isn't London. The left-hand picture there, that's, I think, New York. Okay, or somewhere in America. And I just pulled that picture out to show you how good water cannons are. They can be painful. I don't think they would kill you, water cannons, but it is a form of crowd control. On the right-hand side, I do think that is a British police van there. One of the, possibly Bristol or something like that. What do you think about water cannons? Good way of controlling people who need to be controlled? Shocking, really, what was going on. People going around smashing up places and setting cars on fire. They even tried to put a lighted thing, did you see it, underneath a police van with police in it. Now, I'm not understanding of the mechanics of things. I don't know if that would make the van explode. Or if the petrol's not leaking out, which it wouldn't be because it's in a tank, would that not explode? I don't know. But nevertheless, fancy doing that. Putting these people are scum. Unfortunately, there's demonstrators and there's people that latch on to these demonstrators who are only there to cause anarchy and trouble. And I really think Boris should never have sold those water cannons, but he bought them made a huge loss on them, didn't he? But it's disgusting. The Sun was reporting yesterday or 2 days ago that it was going on in Manchester as well. I mean, people have the right to protest. I do believe that. But what they don't have the right to do is go around smashing up people's houses, businesses, cars, setting light to people, throwing stones and bricks and petrol bombs at the police. Shocking state of affairs. 2 days ago, it says 18 people have been arrested in Manchester as chaotic demonstrators unfolded across the UK despite the continuing COVID pandemic. I mean, do these people want to die? I bet not many of those have had the vaccine. There'll be those sort of people, won't they? Oh, I'm not having it. Demonstrators gathered in large groups in London, Manchester and Bath this afternoon after 3 nights of carnage in Bristol. Mandy's just texted in to say that was, in fact, Bristol, that van there. I mean, look, they must have been terrified, those police. Absolutely terrified. As I say, don't forget that picture on the left, that is not the UK, that's New York. And I just found what I thought was a pretty good picture of a demonstration of a water cannon there. I really think we need something like that these days because people don't know how to behave anymore. They don't. You see it in pubs. You see it in pubs, screaming and shouting because they can't get their own way. There's loads of protesters gathered in Kingston, South West London. Kingston. In Surrey. You wouldn't think it. Kingston was always a really nice area. Protesters gathered in Kingston today to demonstrate against the government's new police crime sentencing and courts bill. Many carried placards. We will not be silenced and police the police. Now, if they were all walking around with placards and just marching, I don't have a problem with that. It's when they start chucking stuff and smashing people's stuff up. Not right, is it? It's not fair. And how do you know that, half this stuff being smashed up, cars and things like that, it's nothing to do with the police. Like those Extinction Rebellion people in London. They were going around smashing cars up, weren't they? Just normal people's cars. Whether you've got a Nissan Micra or a top-of-the-range luxury Range Rover, no one should have the right to smash up your property which you bought with your money, have they? It's not right. Anyway, they've arrested a load of people. And I don't know how long that's going to go on for, all these blooming riots. It's just the usual troublemakers. They look for something going on, and then I don't know how it works. They probably all got each other's phone numbers. Oh, let's meet down. Where should we go to? Let's meet down Reading today and smash up John Lewis. It's their turn today. But I don't know if that's how it works. I would imagine it does. Some sort of WhatsApp group or something like that they all belong to. All the great unwashed. Don't want to work. Don't have jobs. Spend all their life smoking those funny cigarettes. Dreadful what's happened over the last few years. Really. But back to some of your messages there. Ronan, this is the lad who's moving to Bracknell. I think initially it was an office block, gold, I believe. It's literally on the lexicon above the restaurants. I got a very good deal on it. It's a private company, but it's a subsidised rental scheme. I thought it might be, yeah. Because I'm kind of thinking, how is yours, your 2-bedroomed, brand new place in the centre of town, cheaper than my 1-bedroom place out of here? Because I'm led by... I don't set my rent. Well, I mean, I do in a way, but I'm led by what the estate agent says. So when I let a place out, I'll tell you exactly what I do. When I let a place out, when someone moves out, say you're living in one of my places, right? Someone to move out. Next person, okay, they start showing people around. First of all, you moved out, and I do. Hello, Mr. Reardon, it's the estate agent here. They're going to move out on this date. Would you like us to remarket it for you? And you say yes. No, okay. Looking at the current values, we think you could get an extra £25 a month. Okay, that's fine. Try that. And sometimes you get £25 a month extra. Sometimes you don't. That's just how it is. Now, when people rent a place via the estate agent, they automatically sign up to a certain increase every year in the rent, which I'm quite shocked by is actually quite high. It would put up the rent about £30 to £40 a month after a year. Now, to me, that sounds quite a lot. Maybe not as good as... I don't class myself as a money grabber. Yeah, all right. So what happens if you're still there after a year and you want to stay? Okay, let's say, hello, Mr. Reardon. Ronan is coming to the end of his contract. If it's all right with you, we can sign him up, ask him if he wants to go for another year. And he has signed up for the rent to go up £35 a month. Are you okay with this? Or they might say, looking at the rents at the moment, we would recommend the rent remains at the same level. Right? They do that every time. This is my reply to them is always the same. Please increase the rent by £10 a month. That's it. I never, ever ask for another 35. I think it's taking the piss. I really do. But then, of course, they are the experts, you see. They're the experts. They're telling me what to do. And a lot of landlords would do that. They say, yeah, get as much as you can. Now, you've been a tenant there. You've paid your rent all year. Why should I be asking you for another £35 a month? It's not costing me another £35 a month for you to be there. But, on the other hand, everything goes up. Everything goes up. If I've got service charges to pay, which I pay, I have to pay that, that generally goes up every year. So, at the end of the year, I generally, 99 times out of 100, I will ask them to increase your rent by £10 a month. I also do the same if they say we think the rental should remain at the current level. No, put it up £10 a month. So that's what I do. That's what I do. That's how it works. And then when someone moves out, and then when you re-sign up, you may remember about a year or so ago, the government changed the whole thing so that now I don't think you pay for renewing the contract for another year. Guess who pays that now? Yes, and that costs me £150. So if you're with me, right, so you're renting a place off me via the estate agent, so it's kind of a three-way thing here. You want to carry on renting? Okay, you carry on renting that. Then I have to pay them £150 to basically push a bloody key on the keyboard and print out another contract. Shocking state of affairs, isn't it, really? You could argue, well, I could just do that myself. I could take on the whole thing myself and deal with it all. I don't want the hassle. Don't want the hassle. So that's how it works, Ron. I think you've got a very good deal there, to be honest. Send some pictures over. I'd love to see what place you got there, okay? Ollie said he talked quite a lot on his show, but there weren't many messages, so there wasn't a lot of people to talk about. Now, the thing there, Ollie, yeah, this is quite a common mistake. You need to have a show where you need to be ready for your show, right? When you're doing a radio show, you need to be ready for it and assume that you won't get any messages, okay? Here's what to do, right? During the daytime, if you're doing just one show a week, it's even easier, actually. Just have yourself a little notebook or something like that and write down stuff you're doing. You know, watched Doctor Who. And then you could put, saw Doctor Who, kill a Dalek. Just write those things down on there, right? Maybe you went out with Mum to, I don't know, beach, had ice cream, things like that, okay? So just write down stuff. It went out on my bike, fell over. I hope you don't, fell over. Just write down stuff that you're doing, okay? And then sometime before your show, go on the internet, perhaps look at some newspapers and perhaps some news stories that you might want to talk a little bit about, maybe. Couple of news stories, maybe stuff you've watched on the telly, maybe a film or something like that, and you could talk a little bit about that in between the records. Not too long, no more than a couple of minutes. All right? And then make sure you've got a show ready to do it like that. And then you've got all this stuff written in front of you. It doesn't have to be all neat, just stuff to jog your memory, really. And that's how you do it. So you never have to worry about messages coming in. All right? And the other thing to do, a lot of radio shows, including mine, really, you'll find most of the messages coming in the first part of the show. And then afterwards, you don't get too many coming in. So you save them. As the show is going on, you save them. So if you was to get 5 messages in the first 5 minutes, don't read 5 messages out. You read one out. Then you maybe wait till the next record and read another one out. Then the next record and read another one out. You see, and do it like that. Spread them out so that it lasts the whole show. All right, so hopefully you'll be able to help you a little bit there, my darling, okay? But, yeah, as I say, try and do a show. Get ready for your show as if you've got no messages. Spend a bit of time before you do it rather than sort of just sitting there putting the records on. Okay? Mandy, it was indeed a police van that I showed you about earlier. Thank you, Mandy. Vera, I wouldn't want to waste good water on those people. Spray them with cow poo. Cow dung. Wasn't it awful when you're walking around the country and you step in one of those, a wet one? They're not even dried out. Moo! And Yanni says, I blame the flat earthers. He was watching the protests live on YouTube. And that's the other thing, isn't it? I mean, just imagine being a policeman and all these gits have got this blooming phone up at your face doing all the filming. Oh, God's sake. What they want? They want viewers on their YouTube channels. This is what sort of state we're in now. And it just seems to get worse. Doesn't get better, does it? Do you not think? Just gets worse. Life around us is just getting worse. Andy says, I was watching the programmes on YouTube. I was shocked beyond belief, and I said to my girlfriend they should bring the water cannons back. I agree with you, Chris. People have right to protest, but violence is not right. I mean, it really isn't, is it? It's awful what's going on there. Absolutely awful. Thank you, Andy. Mike in Brighton, I'm with you on the scum writers. Bring back the water cannons and make the water ice cold. Excellent idea. Ice cold water. Very unpleasant, isn't it? But you see them there. Twitter's the worst place. These people, you know, if you disagree with them, they want you dead. It's just awful. They're like what do they call it? The cancel, but they want to cancel things that they don't like. For example, comedians on the we'll never see great comedians again, I don't think. Not really funny ones. Only those lefty ones who are not funny. You know what I think of people like Keith Lemon and all that. He's got a following, yeah, I know, but it's not for me. Just don't find him funny. I've been watching on TikTok people like are you ready for these names? Stan Boardman, Roy Chubby Brown. Every other word is a swear word. And Bernard Manning. Oh, my God, he's hilarious. And Jim Davidson. And actually, one of the new ones as well. The one with a weird face. I can never remember his name. He does a version of Countdown. He's quite funny. Well, there's no way I could read the joke here for you. I just couldn't do it. Mike in Brighton says, I'm intrigued as to what's in your coffee item on your chat list. I'll get to that. Well, I hope we get to it. God, is that the time? Blimey. Mick Davenport blames Greta Thunberg. She started all these processes. It's her fault. I'm sure it's her fault. Hello to Maureen. She's been sitting in the garden today. Me too. Isn't it lovely, Maureen? Sitting in the garden, filling in the censor form. For the second time, they didn't get the first one I posted. I've had censor staff knocking on the door twice. Have you really? Oh, Lord. Is it done now, though, Maureen? You didn't get a fine, did you? They were talking about fine. I actually didn't think anyone was going to get a fine unless they still don't do it days later. I thought you might get a little, hang on a minute, you haven't done this. Here's another chance, which they've obviously done for you. I hope you don't get a fine there, my love. Good evening to Shania. Hello, Shania. Good evening, Shania. Very late joining us, my love. Were you doing Rosary and Stations of the Cross today, my love? We'll be having hot cross buns on Friday. I can't wait for hot cross buns. I think I'm probably looking more forward to the hot cross buns on Friday than I am the Easter eggs on Sunday. I don't know if I get any Easter eggs. I have ordered some Easter eggs. Do you want to see them? I was talking about them this morning. I ordered some Easter eggs from Hotel Chocolat. Okay, now which ones are they? Let's try this. That's the one. There you go. I ordered 3 of those for £27 plus about £4 or £5 postage. They're quite nice, aren't they? Do you think? So 150 grams. I'm not actually sure how heavy that is, to be honest. Is that a bag of sugar? 150 gram? I don't know. I have no idea. But I've ordered one of those for my mate. There's one for my sister. And one more, which I might give to my mate's ex. There we go. So I've ordered those. Nice, aren't they? They're about £10 each. And talking, if you want to spend a little bit more money, you've got these. Sorry, they're the same price as those ones. They look quite nice, don't they? These are all from Hotel Chocolat. Hotel Chocolat, okay? £10 there for that egg. It looks like a piece of cookie dough and ice cream. I don't know, is that like a bit of cardboard in the middle or a biscuit? I'm not quite sure. So there's that one. If you want to spend a bit more money, how about this lot? 170 quid. 170 quid on a box of bleeding chocolates. But look at them all, Ollie. Here, Ollie, get your mum some of those, darling. She will love you forever. Look. What do you reckon, eh? Look at those chocolates. What's that say? Raspberry something there. Caramel cheesecake. Strawberry cheesecake. Oh, yeah. So I don't know if anyone wants to send me those, do they? What do you reckon? Eggs. And that's the one I bought. They were £10, but don't look for those. They've sold out. I must have got the last ones because I went online just before the show to get photos of them, and I couldn't actually find that anymore on the Hotel Chocolate website. That's disappeared. So I found a photo elsewhere, and that's the Hotel Chocolate. If you ever go to Hotel Chocolate, I highly recommend. They do caramel bars. They're not very big. They're thin caramel bars, but there's like a packet. I think there's 4 in a packet. Oh, best chocolate you've ever had. Caramel chocolate bars from Hotel Chocolat. You know there's one in the Lexicon, don't you, Ronan? Yes. Cadbury's. No, not Cadbury's. Hotel Chocolat, all right? Ollie says his next show is mic-free in the mix. So no mic work and talking, but mixing and some good music. Thank you, Ollie. Well, good luck with that. Shania's been doing the rosary. Very important in Holy Week. You're right. I hope that you will be watching the Chrism Mass from the cathedral tomorrow. I don't know anything about that, Shania. What time is that and what's that about, my love? Ronan likes Hotel Chocolat. I went to the cocoa plant in St. Lucia. I've been there. Don't think you're the only one to have been in St. Lucia, dear. British Airways. Club class, darling. Club class to St. Lucia. Thank you very much. Club class. Oh, lovely place. We were staying, I think it's called Club St. Lucia now. That's quite nice there, yeah. It's all right, St. Lucia. I was best man at my mate's wedding. He married a lovely Irish girl. She died a few years later from breast cancer. It's so sad. She was a lovely girl. Her name was Shona. My mate, which left just him and their daughter together. You never know what's around the corner, do you? He went to the cocoa plant in St. Lucia when I was on holiday once. I have to recommend going to Hotel Chocolat Shop after Easter, as all reduced. Well, now you're telling me. That's where I'll be on Monday or Tuesday. The Hotel Chocolat Shop. Or maybe you can just do it online. Get cheap chocolate online. Yes, please, mummy. Yes, I can, because it'll be after Easter then, so shut up. Weird City Citizen, great documentary on YouTube called Bernard Manning from Beyond the Grave. It's about PC killing comedy. Well, it has. It has. You've got to see those people on in the morning. Telling us what we can and can't say up yours. I say what I like. Say what I like. It's only you getting offended because you're looking for stuff to be offended at. You want to lighten up, people. Innit? Why don't they lighten up a bit, these people? I just better check the emails. I haven't checked my emails for a while, have I? Oh, there aren't any. Okay. Good, that's all right. It's probably better if you just text in. It makes it a lot easier, to be honest. Here we go, Shania. 11 o'clock, Chrism Mass is the blessing of oils and priests renew their promises. Most priests will be online watching. Always takes place in Holy Week, and that's at the cathedral, is it 11 o'clock? Do you know what surprises me at the cathedral? The actual video sound setup is not that good there, is it? They haven't even got a widescreen camera there. We've got widescreen at our church, as you know from my broadcasts here. High quality visual and audio coming to you live. I'll be doing the whole Holy Week thing. 7:30 Thursday, 3 o'clock Friday, 8 o'clock Saturday and 10 o'clock Sunday. Okay, right. Now, he wants to know, doesn't he? He wants to know about this coffee. You ready then? Story in the Daily Mirror. Dr. Kareen Raj has shared a video on TikTok to warn of the gross link in pre-ground coffee beans. What's wrong with him? Do you drink coffee? Who drinks coffee? Oh, vile stuff. Bitter. My mum used to drink coffee. I love the smell. Love the smell. Don't like the taste. Bitter. And don't say, oh, put some sugar in it. It doesn't make any difference. It says if you're someone who can't make it through the day without a boost of caffeine in the form of coffee, it might be time to look away. This doctor, who racked up millions of views on TikTok with his informative videos, issued a gross warning for people who buy pre-ground jars of coffee. The doctor decided to drop the bombshell that if you drink pre-ground coffee, there's a high chance you're also knocking back some crushed up cockroaches. He explained pre-ground coffee, like you get in most stores, contains ground up cockroaches. A certain percentage of coffee beans becomes infested with cockroaches and other insects. Not just those. I wonder if it's the same for tea. I'm gonna have to check my tea leaves. I'll empty them on the piece of paper first and go through them first before I put them into my cup. Usually they can't be processed out completely, so they just get roasted and ground up with the coffee beans. You're drinking coffee and cockroach, anyone? Perhaps they could advertise that in Starbucks. They could sell that at a premium rate, even more expensive than their blooming £5 coffees now. Huh? How is it I find over in the middle of the forest Starbucks cups? I mean, if you were carrying coffee to where I find some of these cups, it had been stone cold by the time it got there. It amazes me. And what do? Chuck it on the ground. You know who else really hates litter? Joanna Lumley. She don't understand it, and neither do I. I mean, who the hell do you think is going to pick this stuff up? Mugs like me and the other volunteers around here that do it now. It's always a bit soul destroying sometimes to, walk a length of road, and I do walk long lengths of road, because now that the big clean-up has happened in a lot of places, it's actually relatively easy to keep on top of it. But you've got to walk that length of road every day or two. And there it is, one bottle there, a can there that you'd picked up. Or even worse than that is when you walk one way, you're collecting the rubbish. I might end up, a shop on my mate's house. And then coming back the other way, there's another bottle on the ground again. And you're thinking... Back onto these cockroaches. It says most food authorities allow for a certain percentage of bug parts in our food. He tried to rescue it slightly by adding cockroaches are high in protein, before warning, if you're allergic to cockroaches, I'd stay away from pre-ground coffee. That's frightening, isn't it, really? I suppose, I don't know what other foods would stop that. I'm not reading that out, Mike. I'm not reading that. I suppose there's all sorts of crushed up bugs and things they get in flour. Have you ever had flour that you've had for too long, and then you open it and there's little weevil things in it, isn't it? Well, it must have been in there before you opened it. But they come alive, I think, after a certain period of time. They're in the flour. Ever seen that? Ollie's going up to Hertfordshire at the weekend. Oh, yes. Are you going to Hemel? Somewhere like that, to see his granddad, who's part of our support bubble thing. They've got hotel chocolate there, and I get paid on Friday. I might go Saturday and get loads of chocolate. I hope you're getting some for your mum and dad. Sorry, I don't know if I don't. Do I know? Yes, your mum. I hope you're getting something for your mum and dad. I'll be very disappointed if your dad sends me a message and says to me that, oh, Ollie's bought himself a load of chocolate. What, and you never bought your mum and dad? You must buy... All right, maybe not your dad, but definitely your mum. Very important. Your dad, you can get him just a bar of chocolate. Get him that caramel one I told you about. So nice. Clarissa, don't forget to watch that thing I sent you with Joanna Lumley in it. Thank you. Thank you, lovely Clarissa. What's the time? Do you know, it's 10 o'clock. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. I think I'm going to have to wind up here, dears. I've gone on a little bit longer than I thought today. Yeah, we'll wind up there. We didn't quite get to the all the other stuff, which I'll hold that over for the next show, all right? So thanks ever so much for your text messages. And could you just do a little like for me on your way out, my darlings? You don't mind, do you? Just a little like for me. Would you do that? A little like underneath there? Okay? And we'll have another chat show on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Now, don't forget, do join me tomorrow morning. It says 9, but it's actually 8. 8 till 10 o'clock I'll be on the radio tomorrow. reachonair.com, 8 till 9. And of course, later on tonight at midnight, we have the very talented Mr. Alan Ross playing you music between midnight and 3 o'clock with lots of chat in there. He's got such a wonderful nighttime voice. Unfortunately, I got a feeling people aren't with him long before they drift off, because he's got one of those really soothing voices. So that's Alan Ross on Reach On Air tonight at midnight. Thanks so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye now.